Tesla has gotten people pretty excited these days, and demand for their cars is high, but those cars can be pretty pricey. What if you can't afford a Tesla? Well, they've brought back the Model S60. It was killed a few years ago, but it's back with a vengeance, and it's the most affordable Tesla you can buy. Aside from the badge, there's not a lot to distinguish this base Model S from the more spendy P90D, but there have been a few design changes that have come forward across the entire model lineup. Instead of the front fascia having like a stand-in looking kind of grille, the bumper now is completely smooth across the front. There have been a few little tweaks to the LED lights, but by and large, this is the same car we've seen last year. The Model S gives drivers 210 miles of range at speeds of up to 130 miles an hour, but be prepared to burn through a lot of that range if you want to go that fast. But one of the best things about driving a Tesla is the instant access to the torque. I mean, you just touch your foot to the throttle and that torque is right there instantly, and it makes this car very, very engaging and so much fun to drive. I mean, there's no transmission, right? So you're never searching for a gear. You're always in the correct gear. You're never waiting for any kind of turbos to spool up. It's just right there for you at all times, and that's what makes this car so much fun to drive. Now, 0 to 60 in this car is about 5.5 seconds. I mean, that's no ludicrous mode, but still, it's nothing to shake a stick at. Using Autopilot is super easy. I just pull back on the stalk once, and that engages the adaptive cruise control. Pull it back twice, and there we go, it's driving on its own. I've also set this up so that when I signal, it will change lanes for me. The car is driving on its own. Now, if I take my hands off the wheel, after a certain amount of time, the car is going to give me 3 warnings. Everything from, hey, you might want to think about putting your hands back on the wheel, to, lady, if you don't put your hands back on that wheel, I'm going to stop this car right now. And then it will stop the car completely and turn on the hazards. I don't really want that to happen, so my hands are going back on the wheel. While in Autopilot, the car does ping pong down the center of the lane just a little bit, and that's especially true if you're in a merging situation, you're coming from a wider lane into a more narrow lane, but on the whole, it worked really, really well. And to be honest with you, I kind of wanted to hate Autopilot, right? I mean, I love to drive. I love driving just for the sheer pleasure and joy of it. And I'm afraid that driving for pleasure now is going to become as taboo as like giving a cigarette to a 3-year-old, and I just don't want that to happen. But I really liked it. It was kind of a lot of fun. Inside the Model S, the sleek design is built around this ginormous 17-inch touchscreen. Navigation is done with Google Maps, and there's one box search. And if you're putting in for a longer trip, it will route you through the Tesla supercharging stations. There's no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but you can sync your calendar. But one thing that's glaringly missing is any kind of a text messaging assistant. The car won't read me my text messages, and it won't let me respond to text messages. And in a car that's got so much tech, really is a major loss. Of course, the car's got Bluetooth and it's iPod enabled, but you're probably gonna find yourself listening to the internet radio stations because this baby, it's got LTE, and the best part, you don't even have to pay for it because it's all included in the price of the car. So go ahead, check out the homepage of theroadshow.com on your commute. A lot of great reasons to buy a Tesla, right? I mean, they're super sexy. You don't have the same maintenance problems that you do with the gas-powered car. All your updates are done via software over the air, and they're free. Plus, you get that sweet, sweet carpool sticker. But it really is a lifestyle choice, especially if a Model S is your only car. There's currently over 500 Tesla superchargers across the country, and those will give you 170 miles in about 30 minutes. Plus, there's a series of destination chargers at places like hotels and restaurants. It's slower than the superchargers, but at least you have something to do while you're getting that go-go juice. You can charge the Model S on the super slow way with the 120-volt charger, or the 240-volt charger, or even the level 3 DC charging, which is kind of like what you see from ChargePoint. But the superchargers, that's where it's at. But get this, San Francisco, the tech hub of the entire universe, there is no Tesla supercharging in the city of San Francisco. And in fact, there's only 4 in the Bay Area in general. There are 16 destination chargers in downtown San Francisco, but for 12 of them, you've got to be a patron. And where I live in the East Bay, 0 destination chargers, and the closest supercharger is over 15 miles away. The infrastructure still isn't there to support my go where I want to go, when I want to go there kind of lifestyle. And it works for some people, and I'm so glad because I want the infrastructure to be there. I want you to buy a Tesla so that we can get charging stations to be as ubiquitous as gas stations, and then I will buy one. Then I will experience the instant torque and have a lot of fun. But until then, I just can't do it. So how much does the least expensive Tesla cost? Well, the Model S60 with rear-wheel drive like I've got here, that starts at $66,000, but with Autopilot, the glass panoramic sunroof, and destination, that's going to kick that up to $71,200. You do get a federal tax credit of $7,500, and here in California, a rebate of $2,500, and Tesla estimates that you'll save about $1,100 per year in fuel. There's also an all-wheel drive version, and that starts at $71,000.